Well, hello. My name is Anthony Sicaro. I'm founder and president of Providence Financial and Insurance Services, located in the heart of the San Fernando Valley. And I'm also an estate planning attorney. And periodically, as the economic environment changes, I like to inform you, my clients, with regard to how that affects you. And if there's any law or rule changes, then this is how I'm going to communicate with you. And if you're a client of mine, you know how much I appreciate your business and thank you for your trust. If you're not a client of mine, then you're welcome to watch the video. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact us through our website at providencefinancialinc.com. And if you haven't been to our website for a while, within the last year, we revamped it. So it's got a lot of great information on it. It looks a little bit different. And while you're there, click on the YouTube channel so that you make sure that you get these videos right when they come out instead of having to wait for our newsletter. So if you haven't followed us on YouTube, follow us. You don't need to create an account. Just press follow and there you are. You'll get the information immediately. Well, the purpose of this video today is to talk about an RMD waiver that the IRS has put into place for 2020. So there's a couple of significant changes that we want to spend some time talking about. The first change, and this has been around for a little while, for 2020 when they extended the tax return deadline to July 15th. The first change is that you actually have until July 15th to make an IRA contribution or a Roth IRA contribution for 2019. That normal deadline is April 15, which we're past. July 15 is in 2 weeks away. So if you want to make a contribution for 2019, you have until July 15th to do that. Make sure you make that contribution ahead of time. So that's one thing. But the second thing is a rule that the IRS just announced last week. And that rule has to do with required minimum distributions. You know that when you turn 70 and a half, for those of you that turned 70 and a half in 2019, or when you turn 72, for those of you that turned 70 and a half in 2020 or beyond, that you have a required minimum distribution. Now, if you don't know what a required minimum distribution is, and you didn't know about the rule change to 72, go watch my video on YouTube where I spent some time talking about just that rule change. It's on YouTube. Go find it. But you know that you have a required minimum distribution. And yet, earlier in the year, under the CARES Act, the IRS essentially waived required minimum distributions for anyone that hadn't taken them yet. Okay. And so what happened is they basically said, if you haven't taken an RMD, you don't have to. Well, a lot of people already had taken an RMD and they kind of got hurt because they had taken it. And there were some other rules that if they had taken it within 60 days, they could roll that money back. If they had taken it outside of 60 days, they couldn't roll it back. The 60-day rules basically have two requirements. That is, you've got to put the money back within 60 days, and you can only do it once a year. So there are some of our clients that they have their RMDs, they know what it's going to be for the year, and they take it monthly. So if you were in a situation where you're taking your RMD monthly and you're taking it for January and February and March and April, well, the 60-day rule says you can only do that one time a year. So you could only roll in the last monthly payment into back into an IRA under the RMD waiver rules. You couldn't roll the previous payments in because you'd violate the 60-day rule. With inherited IRAs, inherited IRAs require every beneficiary to take a minimum distribution no matter what your age. And a minimum distribution for an inherited IRA is kind of like squeezing toothpaste out of a tube. It's not going back. If you take money out of an inherited IRA, it stays out. It's a fatal error. If you didn't want to, it doesn't matter. You take it. Once you take it out, it can't go back in. But here's the deal. Just this last week, the IRS said, okay, we're a little confused. It's not fair for everybody. We're going to waive all those rules for 2020. So that means that if you've taken an RMD at any point in 2020, whether it's from an inherited IRA, whether it's from an IRA, whether it violates a 60-day rollover rule, whether it's been multiple payments, if you've taken an RMD anytime in 2020, the IRS is going to allow you to roll that money back as long as you do it by August 30th. August 30th, last day of August. I think there's only 30 days in August, but last day of August, you have until then to put all that money back. And I'm guessing a lot of you are going to be excited about that. So now, one important thing, it only applies to RMDs. If this payment, this withdrawal that you took from your IRA was not an RMD, it doesn't apply to you. So if you want to put your money back, feel free to do that. If we are your advisor and you're using us, feel free to call us. Let us know what you want to do. Whenever I put out a video like this, it always inundates my staff because people call with questions and want to know more and want to do whatever it is. So I expect that we'll probably be flooded with phone calls next week. We have till August 30th. We're not rushed. If you're calling or email us about an RMD, let us know that. Give my staff a couple days to get back to you, especially since we're not rushed. But hopefully that helps. Great news for those of you that have taken an RMD that want to put it back. You have until August 30th to do that. Thanks for watching. God bless.